This is Chris Videos. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'll be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE Monday Night Raw, May 9th, 2022 reviews. So here we go, discussing about tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. We kick off the show with the WWE Raw Tag Team Champions, Randy Orton and Riddle, RK Bro. So yeah, RK Bro came out to the ring, and they was talking about the Usos and Roman Reigns and everything about what happened last night at WrestleMania Backlash. Now, of course, there was a six-man tag team match with RK Bro and Drew McIntyre versus the Bloodline. But of course, what happened was the Bloodline won the match, and Randy Orton and Riddle said, they came up a little bit short, but then they was talking about the title unification, because the Usos wanted the titles unified. But then, of course, they said Roman Reigns and ripped up the contract, and that's why the match didn't happen. So then RK Bro said, how they actually do want the title unification match. But then, all of a sudden, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, the Street Profits, came out, and they started talking about how they're going to win the Raw Tag Team titles and unify the Tag Team titles themselves. And then, get the match underway. It was RK Bro versus the Street Profits for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships, and it was a pretty good match. It was a really good match between those two teams. At the ending of this match, at one point, we seen Riddle try to hit the floating bro off the second rope onto Montez because Randy Orton was holding him, but then it was kind of like miscommunication. Riddle landed on Orton instead on accident. He gets back in the ring, and then Street Profits, Dawkins hits that spine buster. Montez jumped off the top turnbuckle with the frog splash, pinning Riddle, and Randy breaks up the pin at 2, barely breaking up the pin at 2, but then it looked like the Street Profits was going to win again because Montez managed to climb up the top turnbuckle one more time, jumping off with the frog splash, but this time he gets hit with the RKO in midair by Riddle, and then he gets pinned for the 3 count. So yeah, RK Bro defeated the Street Profits tonight and has retained the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships tonight on Monday Night Raw. That's what happened. It was a really good match, like I said. If you have yet, go check out that match. Great start to kick off Monday Night Raw. So yeah, with that match, I'll give it 3.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. But then later on tonight, we will see the United States Champion Theory versus Cody Rhodes one-on-one for the United States Championship later on tonight on Monday Night Raw. But since that match will be happening tonight, Theory actually did came out, and he was having an interview talking about how he will defeat Cody Rhodes tonight and retain the United States title. Talking about how Cody Rhodes was in WWE a long time ago while he was in diapers and all that. So yeah, that's what Theory was talking about. But yeah, it was an okay promo from Theory. But yeah, pretty good stuff. But yep, later on tonight, the United States title will be on the line on Raw. But up next, we're going to be seeing Edge, Damian Priest, and the newest member of Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley, on Monday Night Raw up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, we've seen Edge, Damian Priest, and the newest member of Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley, came to the ring. So yeah, Rhea Ripley's the newest member of the faction now. And Edge, he done cut his hair off. So yeah, he don't got the long hair no more. His hair's short now and everything. So yeah, Edge gave himself a new look, and you know what? It'll probably be okay with what he got going on right now with this character and all that. So yeah, I'm pretty much okay with that actually. So yeah, Edge done cut his hair, and yeah, they all three started talking in the ring. Edge was talking about how he was talking crap about AJ Styles and everybody else like Finn Balor and all that. So yeah, that's what Edge was talking about. And he was talking about why he joined the dark side and all that stuff. And then Damian Priest was talking about why he joined Edge and how him and Edge alone can take out the whole entire roster. But then, of course, about what happened at WrestleMania Backlash, where Damian Priest was barred from ringside. They then had Rhea Ripley come in to help him out, and Edge was talking about how he was talking to Rhea Ripley a few weeks ago to pretty much make her break up the tag team between her and Liv Morgan and have her turn on Liv Morgan and join them. So yeah, Edge was telling Rhea Ripley that Liv Morgan was holding her down and all that. So that's why Rhea Ripley then turned heel on Liv Morgan. So yeah, it was pretty good stuff. The promos and stuff was pretty good. Rhea Ripley was talking about that as well. Talking about how tonight she wants a match against, how she's going to have a match against Liv Morgan and destroy her and everything. And brutalize her and all that. So yeah, that's what Rhea Ripley was saying. But yeah, it was pretty good promos between those three. But then as soon as Rhea Ripley stopped talking, Liv Morgan then came out and the match will be happening up next. So yeah, Rhea Ripley will be taking on Liv Morgan up next on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. It was Rhea Ripley with Edge and Damian Priest at Ringside Judgment Day versus Liv Morgan one-on-one. So yeah, Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan one-on-one. It was an okay match. Majority of this match, like the first half of it for sure, Rhea Ripley was just dominating Liv Morgan throughout majority of the match. But then, of course, while the ending was getting closer and all that, Liv Morgan started coming back a little bit, trying to pick up some pinfalls and stuff onto Rhea Ripley. But of course, Ripley kept on kicking out. There was one cool moment actually where the Liv Morgan actually springboard off the second rope, coming up with a code breaker, the double knees to the face onto Rhea Ripley, which was really nice. Almost had her, but Rhea Ripley kicked out at 2. But then at one point, Ripley was trying to hit the riptide onto Liv Morgan. Morgan fought out of that, reversing it and all that. But then at the ending of this match, we seen Rhea Ripley lock on that submission hold. I forgot what you call it, but it's like with the legs, like with the calves or whatever she works on, and made Liv Morgan tap out. So yeah, Rhea Ripley defeated Liv Morgan tonight on Monday Night Raw. And then after the match ended, Edge and Damian Priest get into the ring, and then Rhea Ripley locks on that submission hold again, keep on making Liv Morgan tap out, making her go through pain and all that. And then all of a sudden, Finn Balor and AJ Styles' theme songs hit. They come walking out, and yeah, that's what happened there. But up next, we're going to be seeing Finn Balor versus Damian Priest one-on-one up next on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, that match will be happening up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. It was Damian Priest with Edge and Rhea Ripley, Judgment Day at ringside, versus Finn Balor with AJ Styles at ringside. So yeah, Finn Balor versus Damian Priest one-on-one. It was an okay match. Balor was trying to come back a little bit into this match, and Priest was going at it as well. But then at the ending of this match, Damian Priest got out of the ring, and like Finn Balor was going to, do that move where he jumps over the top rope with the front flip onto Damian Priest. But Rhea Ripley got in the way, standing in front of him, so standing in front of Damian Priest, so Finn Balor wouldn't do it, and Balor, just wasn't her to move out the way, and then he turns around and gets hit with a spear by Edge, and led to disqualification. So yeah, Finn Balor defeated Damian Priest by disqualification, and then AJ Styles tried to come in and started attacking Edge, beating him down and stuff, but then of course Damian Priest and the numbers game started catching up to AJ. At one point AJ actually, Rhea Ripley actually grabbed AJ, turned around, and AJ, staring Rhea Ripley face to face. But then AJ Styles got hit with that tag team finish move by Edge and Damian Priest, where Edge hits the spear, and then Damian Priest sweeps the leg from underneath them at the same time, laying AJ Styles out. So yeah, that's what happened there. But yeah, with the match and all that, yeah, I'll just give it 1 star. That's why I'll give it. But I think I forgot to rate the Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley match. I'll give that match 1.5 stars. So yeah. But yep, that's what happened there. But up next, we're going to be seeing Omos and MVP on Monday Night Raw up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, so it was Omos and MVP. They came out and they was hosting the VIP lounge. They had security guards and everything for Bobby Lashley, just in case if he comes on out to the ring. So yeah, they was talking about how Omos defeated Bobby Lashley last night at WrestleMania Backlash. So yeah, that's what he was talking about. But then Cedric Alexander comes out to the ring, and there was a kind of funny moment where Cedric was trying to walk through the security guards, and the security guard looks at him, he goes like, no. And then MVP was like, let him in. He goes, and Cedric was like, yeah, move out my way. He gets into the ring, and you know, he's acting like he's all buddy-buddy with them, and you know, like how him and Omos would be a great tag team and all that. So yeah, that's what Cedric was saying. And then Bobby Lashley comes walking out and starts beating up the security guards, beating all them down. Cedric tries to attack Bobby, but Bobby throws him into the barricade. And then Bobby Lashley gets into the ring and clotheslines Omos over the top rope outside of the floor. MVP and Bobby Lashley was going face to face, but then Cedric comes up and saves MVP by jumping onto Bobby Lashley. Lashley then flips him over him, and then at one point Alexander was trying to jump off the springboard off the top rope, but he got caught in the air into the Hurt Lock by Lashley, tapping out and everything, and Lashley tossed him down. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good segment though. But then after that segment, we get to backstage. Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville was talking, and Sonya Deville was like, I wonder who's my opponent tonight. And Adam Pearce was like, here, I'll tell you. And then he was about to tell her. And then she was like, no, actually, I'll keep it as a mystery. I'll beat whoever it is or whatever. So, yeah, she goes out. And, yeah, she will have a match up next on Monday Night Raw. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. So, the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw. Now, before I talk about the Sonya Deville match, we got to talk about Kevin Owens and Chad Gable and Otis backstage. Now they was talking, and you know, Chad Gable was talking about how he can get a DNA test with Ezekiel and Elias to pretty much try to prove that Ezekiel is Elias, and that will happen next week on Raw. And then Kevin Owens was like, that's great and all that, but tonight, you know, my older brother will be here, Ken Owens, and he'll be taking on Ezekiel tonight. So yeah, Kevin Owens' older brother will be taking on Ezekiel tonight. But then we get to the match. It was Sonya Deville versus Alexa Bliss. So yeah, Alexa Bliss makes her return back on Monday Night Raw tonight. And before the match started, Adam Pearce came out and he said, Sonya, the WWE officials investigating you. And you are fired as a WWE official, but you'll still be a WWE superstar. So yeah, she's fired as an official now and still a in-ring competitor. And then she said your opponent is Alexa Bliss. So yeah, Alexa Bliss comes out. We get the match underway. It was a quick match. Alexa Bliss hits the DDT onto Sonya Deville after she tried to clothesline her. And then she climbed up the top turnbuckle and hits Twisted Bliss onto Sonya Deville and then pins her for the 3 count. So yeah, Alexa Bliss defeated Sonya Deville tonight and they won one match. That's what happened. It was great to see Alexa Bliss return back on Monday Night Raw. And she returned back with her old theme song. So yeah. But she still gets the Lily puppet and all that, the Lily doll. But yeah, she came back with her old theme song, old ring gear and all that. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. But yeah, that's what happened there. Great to see Alexa Bliss back. I'll give that match, yeah, with the return and all that, I'll give it 1 star. That's what I'll give it. So yeah, up next we're going to be seeing Ezekiel in action on Raw. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was supposed to be a one-on-one match. It was supposed to be Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens' older brother, Ken Owens. So yeah, it was supposed to be Ken Owens versus Ezekiel one-on-one. Ezekiel comes out, Ken Owens comes out, and, you know, it's Kevin Owens wearing a wig and all that. He comes out and he says, you let me tell you something, I hate liars, you're a liar, and started talking crap about Ezekiel, and then Ezekiel was like, Kevin won't talk like that, won't allow you to talk like that. He goes like, yeah, Kevin likes how I talk, because I and Kevin, it was so funny, it was just a funny little segment. But then Kevin Owens starts attacking Ezekiel, and then Otis and Chad Gable comes down, helping Kevin Owens beat down Ezekiel, and then Owens hit the stunner onto Ezekiel, laying him out. So yeah, that's what happened there. They beat him down. Alpha Academy and Kevin Owens beating down Ezekiel tonight. So yeah, that's what happened there. But then backstage we get Becky Lynch and Asuka and Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce is talking to Asuka, and Becky Lynch comes up, and Asuka was talking about like you know better, you're not better than Asuka. You're just another baby and all that. So yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, that's what happened backstage. But up next, we're going to be seeing Vera Mahal in action up next on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, that'll be the next match up next on Raw. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. It was a Vera Mahal versus a local competitor. And, you know, Byron Saxton was talking to that guy, and he looks so much like Wardlow, like, literally looks like Wardlow. And he was talking to him. He said, I know I'm going to get decimated by beer, but my only thing is I don't want to be carted out by ambulance. And, you know, I got to support my wife and 3 triplets. So, yeah, that's what the guy said. And then we get the match underway. Of course, Veer. Actually, the guy was doing actually pretty good. He was doing okay for himself, but then Veer has that vicious clothesline onto him, and then locks on the cervical clutch. And not gonna lie, that guy's face expression while he was locked on by that submission hold, it was just priceless. It was too funny. That's why I got it as a thumbnail, because it was just too funny. So yeah, he made him tap out, of course, and Vera Mahal won. So yeah. Veer won the match, and then after the match ended, we get Cody Rhodes backstage. He was getting interviewed, and he was talking about how he's going to become the new United States Champion, because he will be taking on Theory up next for the United States Championship. So yeah, that match will be happening up next on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say, for my rating for Veer's match, I'll give it a half of a star. I'll give it 1 star, that's why I'll give it. So yeah, it was pretty entertaining with the guy's face expressions and all that. So yeah, that's why I'll give it. But up next, the United States Championship match. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. It was the United States Champion, Theory, versus Cody Rhodes, one-on-one for the United States Championship. It was actually a pretty good match between the two. Like, these two guys, you know, I think it's the first ever time that these two, well, it's definitely the first ever time that these guys faced off in WWE, but I don't know if they faced off before on the indie scene or not, but yeah. But I think this is the first ever match, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not too for sure, but I got to see about that. But yeah, it was a pretty good match between these two guys. At one point, we seen Theory hit that one move where he lifted him up like a fisherman suplex type of move and dropped him right on his knee, which was pretty nice. Cody barely kicking out too at that. But then at the ending of this match, we seen Cody hit the disaster kick onto Austin Theory, and then he goes back, springboard off the second rope again, but this time hitting the Cody cutter onto Austin Theory. And then Cody Rhodes is waiting for Theory to get back up so he can hit the crossroads onto him. But then Seth Rollins comes up attacking Cody Rhodes from behind. So he got disqualified. So yeah, Cody Rhodes defeated Theory tonight by disqualification. But Theory is still the United States Champion. So yeah, that's what happened there. But it was, like I said, it was a pretty good match. But then, of course, like I said, Rollins was beating down Rhodes. Beating him down, throws him outside of the ring, beating him down as well. And then puts him on the announce table, kind of puts him on the announce table. Like, Cody's still standing, but gets his head over the announce table. And then Seth Rollins hits the curb stomp on the Cody Rhodes on the announce table. So, yeah, that's what happened there. Laying out Cody Rhodes, and referees and stuff was checking on Cody Rhodes. So, yeah, that's what happened there. But like I said, it was a pretty good match between Cody Rhodes and Theory. of course, we all kind of figure that this match was going to end by disqualification because we know that the feud between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes is not over yet because Cody got 2 wins over Seth. But 2 for sure, it looks like that. But I think for the third match between Rollins and Rhodes, it'll be a Hell in a Cell match. So yeah, that looks like that'll be the third match between those 2 guys. But yep. But yeah, that's what I think was going to happen between them 2 at least. But yeah, but it was a pretty good match between Cody Rhodes and Theory. I'll give that match, yeah, I'll give it 2 stars. That's why I'll give it. Like I said, I usually hate matches ending in disqualifications, but this feud is pretty damn good between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. I see a lot of people complaining, talking about how this feud it should have ended since last night. But I'm okay with it. I mean, Cody Rhodes got 2 wins over Seth Rollins. We'll wait and see what else goes on because Hell in a Cell is a few weeks away. So yeah, we'll wait and see what goes on, and I'll give my thoughts about the feud later on. So yeah, but yep, that's what happened there. Later on tonight, we will see Bianca Belair versus Asuka 1-on-1. If Asuka wins, she gets a Raw Women's Championship match. But up next, we're going to be seeing the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Naomi and Sasha Banks, in action up next on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing to happen on Monday Night Raw, it was a tag team match. It was the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Sasha Banks and Naomi, versus Nikki Ash and Doudrop in a tag team match. It was a non-title match. It was an okay match. At the ending of this match, we seen Nikki Ash telling Doudrop that she got Sasha Banks, but then Sasha Banks tags in Naomi quickly, and they hit their tag team finish move onto Nikki Ash, and then pins her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Sasha Banks and Naomi defeated Nikki Ash and Doudrop tonight in the tag team match. That's what happened. And then Doudrop gets in the ring, starts telling Nikki Ash that you need to start taking it more seriously and start paying attention and stop doing stupid stuff because you're going to keep on continuing losing matches and all that. So yeah, that's what she was telling her. But then Miz comes out, and yeah, we're going to have the next match up next. So yeah, with that women's tag team match, I'll give it 1 star. That's why I'll give it. But yeah, up next we're going to be seeing Mustafa Ali versus Ciampa 1-on-1 in a match, and the Miz will be the special guest referee for that match. So yeah, that match will be happening up next. But still to come, later on tonight on Monday Night Raw, we will see the WWE Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair versus Asuka 1-on-1. If Asuka wins, she'll be the #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship. So yeah, that match will be happening later on tonight on Raw. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a 1-on-1 match. It was Mustafa Ali versus Ciampa 1-on-1, and the Miz was the special guest referee. And yeah, they changed Tommaso Ciampa's name. Now it's just Ciampa. So yeah, kind of figured that for like the last few weeks when Tommaso Ciampa was attacking Mustafa Ali, they kept on calling him by Ciampa instead of saying his whole name. So yeah, they officially changed it. So yeah, Ciampa versus Mustafa Ali 1-on-1, and Miz was special guest referee. It was alright match. Of course, Miz was like not counting half of the time, barely counting. But at the ending of this match, we seen Mustafa Ali jump off the second turnbuckle with a tornado DDT onto Ciampa, and he pins him. Miz counting very slow, but he counted 2, and Ciampa kicked out at 2. And then Mustafa Ali started arguing with Miz, and then Ciampa comes up, hits that backwards DDT, pretty much a scorpion death drop onto Mustafa Ali. And then he went for the pin, and Miz quickly counted to 3. So yeah, it was a fast count, and Ciampa won. So yeah, Ciampa defeated Mustafa Ali tonight in a 1-on-1 match. That's what happened. But still to come later on tonight in the main event, it will be the WWE Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair versus Asuka 1-on-1. If Asuka wins that match, she will gain the #1 contenders match. She'll be the #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship. But up next, we're going to be seeing Bobby Lashley have an interview up next on Raw. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. Oh yeah, and for that match between Ciampa and Mustafa Ali, I'll give it half of a star. That's what I'll give it. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a main event. It was the WWE Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair versus Asuka 1-on-1, and this is a championship contenders match. If Asuka wins, she'll become the #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship. So yeah, that's what this match is about. But before I talk about that match, we gotta talk about Bobby Lashley. Now, Bobby Lashley was backstage, and he says he wants a match against Omos next week on Raw in a steel cage match. So yeah, that match is now set. Next week on Raw, we will see a steel cage match between Omos and Bobby Lashley. But then, after that, we got some 24/7 title shenanigans going on. We had Dana Brooke and Tamina backstage with R-Truth, talking about how they wanted a divorce with Akira Tozawa and Reggie. And Reggie and Akira Tozawa got tricked. They come backstage, and they say they want a divorce, but Akira Tozawa was like, no, I don't want a divorce, and starts running away. And then Tamina looks at R-Truth and says, you didn't give me the papers for it, or whatever. So yeah, stuff like that was going on. But yep, that's what happened there. And then we get to the match, Bianca Belair versus Asuka 1-on-1. Becky Lynch came out doing commentary for this match. And Becky Lynch, she was wearing some weird shit, not even gonna lie. Like, I don't know what the hell she had on, like with the glasses or whatever. So yeah, but it was an alright match. The match was going pretty good between Bianca and Asuka. At the ending of this match, we seen Bianca trying to come back from the ropes with the moonsault or whatever, with the backflip onto Asuka, but Becky interfering in the match, attacking Bianca, so it led to disqualification. So yeah, Bianca Belair defeated Asuka by disqualification, and then Becky Lynch tossed Bianca into the steel steps, laying her out, gets into the ring, starts beating up Asuka, and then hits the rock bottom onto Asuka in the middle of the ring, and then leaves out. So yeah, that's what happened there. Yep, the show ended by disqualification. So yeah, with that match, I'll give it 1 star. That's why I'll give it. It was an okay match between those two women, but like I said earlier, I hate matches ending in DQs. Let's say this match of the night, the Raw Tag Team title matches was easily match of the night. There was good matches. Some of them, like the Raw Tag Team title match, was pretty good. Like the first hour was going strong, and then the last hour kind of like slacked off a little bit. Didn't care for Ciampa versus Mustafa Ali. This match ended in DQ, so I didn't really care for it. Bobby Lashley and Omos segment, didn't really care for it. Hopefully that feud ends. Cody Rhodes versus Theory was alright. Like I said, we'll see what else goes on between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. They'll probably have a Hell in a Cell match in a few weeks. The Raw Tag Team title match, like I said, was freaking great. Ezekiel and Kevin Owens' segment from earlier was good as well. Veer doing his thing was alright. The tag team match with Sasha Banks and Naomi and Nikki Ash and Doudrop was okay. It looks like they're trying to do that character change with the Nikki Ash. Alexa Bliss returning was freaking great. So yeah, that was great to see Alexa Bliss return back on Raw. Hopefully she won't disappear like in another month or so. So yeah, hopefully she sticks around for a little while this time. But yeah. And I think that's everything with Monday Night Raw. So yeah. But yeah, for tonight's Monday Night Raw, I'll give it 7 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was okay. Like the first hour was pretty good. Second hour was alright. And then stuff started dropping off on the third hour. So yeah. But yeah, like I said, 7 stars. That's what I'll give Raw. But yeah, that has been my WWE Monday Night Raw May 9th, 2022 reviews. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'll be down there in the description box. And I'll see you guys later for this Wednesday's AEW Dynamite reviews. See you guys later. Until then.